If you are a volunteer worship guitarist, there are only 400 spots left. 400 spots left at the original $6 a month, and when they're gone, they're gone. When I made my last update video for this community, I had 180 members. Now we have over 600. That means the price goes up when we hit 1,000 members and the spots are filling up fast. $6 a month, less than a single guitar lesson for patches, tabs, backing tracks, weekly coaching, and gear giveaways, built specifically for volunteer worship guitarists at real churches who are tired of learning songs at 11 p.m. on a Saturday night. I'll show you exactly what's on the other side, but first, if you already know that you want in, the link is in the description. Lock in your $6 now before the price goes up and the window closes. Let's dive straight into it. So when you click on that link, you'll land here, and this is where you join. You can get your 7-day free trial, and within that group, I'm going to show you exactly what is on the other side. So in the community tab, this is our main tab where people can post, ask questions, post their wins. We've got people from all ages, probably from 15 years old to 75 is our age range. So you're never too young, you're never too old to start somewhere. So we have this community tab where people can make posts about gear, about playing, about tabs, patches, whatever. And this is the place for you guys to communicate with each other and hang. We have the classroom tab. This is where I personally spend the majority of my time. As soon as you join, I'm going to recommend taking the worship team readiness assessment. It takes about 5 minutes, but if you have been stuck and you can't figure out what your next unlock or what the first thing you need to do to focus on is, take this worship team readiness assessment. I have taken all of my course material and my conversations and lessons and have crafted this assessment for you to take. And that will give you a better understanding of what you need to focus on next. So it is a 28-day challenge from 0 to worship team ready. So I basically covered everything that I learned over my past 20 years of experience from me starting in the youth band. And hopefully this will take you 28 days instead of however many years that it took me to get to that point. So we've got everything from open chords to rhythm fundamentals to bar chords, minor chords, seventh chords, getting a little bit more difficult with the circle of fifths, learning music theory, major scales, pentatonic scales, unlocking the fretboard, song learning frameworks. These are all of the things that will get you from 0 to worship team ready to where you can survive on a stage and feel confident. So we have that. We have the patches. If you are into line 6, Helix, HX Stomp, I have the patch pass library. It's included in the premium tab or the premium tier. So every new patch that I create is going to be dropped in here first, and then eventually they will probably make their way to the website, but the people who are in the Worship Guitar Mastery group get them first, and you get access to all of them at once. So if you're on the premium tab, you get access to everything that is here in here. I will be soon, hopefully, branching out to other pedal boards. So if you have a Quad Cortex, Kemper, Fractal, I will be taking the patches and making versions of those for you guys. So that will be included in the patch pass. I'm just going to throw it all in there for you guys. Again, this whole thing is designed for you to get to worship team ready as fast as possible. And that can mean that even though you could be a dad with busy life, busy job, you're raising kids. The goal here is to get you the sounds and get you the tabs, which is what we'll go over later, to quickly learn these songs and play them effectively as a volunteer worship guitarist. So we have weekly calls, and I throw them in here. All of these recordings, we talk about gear, we talk about what they're going through. It could even be, some things that they're dealing with, as a new volunteer worship guitarist with already existing bands and clickiness and things like that. We've talked a lot about that stuff. We've got the Lictionary. This is my attempt to document different licks that I've learned over the years and tab them out in different keys so that you can learn them and ultimately apply them to your playing. If you feel stuck with vocabulary, lick vocabulary. We've got the Nashville numbers mastery. This is everything that I could possibly think of to help you master Nashville numbers. And even if your team doesn't use Nashville numbers, it's important for you to know them because there is a lot of ear training involved. And it will get you just that more comfortable with yourself and with the songs that you're playing. There's a 30-day workbook that comes with it. So it's a 30-day challenge. You come back for a couple minutes a day, and then there's a written part of it. and an audio ear training part of it. So it's probably my favorite course that I have in here. The ultimate speed exercises, this is all different ways that you can mess with your timing to make your music you're playing feel different. And it's also supposed to help you build up your articulation and ultimately your speed. So we've got cage challenge, arpeggios, and even a score sheet to track your time. So we've got that. The Everything Brewster course is everything that I've ever learned from one of my favorite guitarists of all time. And I do a deep dive into his music and what you can learn as a worship guitarist and how it affects me today. The Backing Track Bunker is this growing backing track library where I create worship guitar-based tracks. So sometimes you'll go on YouTube and you're like, you'll practice a blues or a rock track, but that's not necessarily what contemporary music, worship music sounds like. There's a lot of builds and there's ambience and there's big drums and voices and stuff. So this is designed for worship guitarists to practice your improv and get better at stuff that is not in the song that you have to learn. So speaking of the songs that you have to learn, we've got tabs. So along with every tutorial that I do, I try to include tabs that will help you learn this in every single key. So I'll create the tabs, and what I do is I've always pretty much been a one single electric guitarist, lead guitarist on stage, and it's pretty rare. Like 90% of my 20 years of experience, I've been by myself on stage as a guitarist. And with that, when I create these tabs and these tutorials, I have that heavily in mind. So taking all the 8 different guitar tracks that I hear and making it one single part that you can play on a Sunday. So I will create that and then I'll transpose it so that it makes the most sense on the fretboard. For those of you who don't know where you don't have quite the fretboard fluency yet. So they come along with usually a tutorial. Usually a tutorial and a playthrough of my take with POV views as well. So we've got that. For all of these artists, these are just the tutorials that I've done over the years, and I've just been stocking up my own tabs, and I'm making them available for you. And then I'm working right now on the chords and inversions course. This is to help you learn the cage system, but also learn chords and how to ultimately build your own chords. I think it's important to know how to create your own chords and understand how inversions work, and not just learn a 300-page chord book. So it's designed to help you build your own chords and understand them more effectively than just trying to memorize a poster, which is what I was stuck doing when I was a kid, trying to memorize chords that I didn't necessarily need to memorize for worship music, especially. So with that, we have the calendar tab where we have our calls. We can see our members. This is really cool. We've got people from all over the world. So if you're watching this and you think that you need to be in North America or something, you definitely do not. There are worship guitar players all over the world, and it's really cool seeing all these people come together. So that is the Worship Guitar Mastery Group. I hope that you join. Again, there are only 400 spots left, and we're growing at probably, this past month we grew about 150 in the last 30 days. So by the time you're seeing this, it may be too late. So you might want to jump in and take advantage of that initial price. And that goes for all of the tiers. We have a couple different tiers. So if you jump in now, you get to keep your price and your rate even when the prices go up. So appreciate you watching this video, and I hope to see you on the other side.